You're welcome to yet another exciting video on this channel. Recently, Vice President Kamala Harris had an interview on CNN. And this is her first major interview she has had in a long while. She had this interview, she was interviewed by Dina Bash, an anchor on CNN. So there have been mixed reaction regarding her just concluded interview. So in this video, we will be watching reactions to her interview, and this particular video that we're watching is from Sky News, where they gave their own opinion on the interview that they've watched. So before going into the video, if this is your first time on this channel, I'd like you to like and subscribe to this channel. So without wasting any further time, let's dive into the video.
But first, to the Kamala Harris interview, which ended up looking more like a campaign ad than a hard-hitting interview.
Welcome on board. Thank you. It's good to see you.
This is not where Vice President Harris thought she would be.
We're going to Georgia. Yes. 7th trip there this year for me.
A surprise nominee for president just months from Election Day. Set in motion after a stunning debate.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Some within your own party are wondering if President Biden should even step aside. What do you say to that?
There was a slow start, but it was a strong finish.
And then an extraordinary decision.
I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
Philadelphia!
What usually takes years of planning, coming together in a matter of weeks.
Tim Wall!
After a historic nomination at the convention in Chicago,
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
the Harris-Walz ticket is now pushing forward with the shortest presidential campaign in modern history.
What did you hear from voters here?
People are very optimistic.
We joined them on the trail as they visited the battleground of Georgia, just 68 days from the election.
And then after the first break, they ran this puff piece.
As voters are getting to know Kamala Harris, they want answers on how she will make their lives better. She heard that here at Sandfly Barbecue in Savannah.
What we're going to do to increase access to capital for small businesses, I'll be rolling out next week. Part of what we're going to be doing in terms of a tax credit.
On the trail, she talks about her experience, years in the courtroom as a district attorney and eventually California's attorney general. She wants to reframe the contest as the prosecutor versus the felon.
I know Donald Trump's type. I've been dealing with them my whole career.
The former president is turning to a well-defined playbook of personal attacks.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
And in just 12 days, the nominees will meet face-to-face for the first time.
She's not a good debater. She's not a smart person. She doesn't want to debate.
If you've got something to say, say it to my face.
CNN is a joke for pretending that this would be a legitimate effort to probe Harris. That editing wasn't appropriate on either of those moments. And when CNN's Dana Bash did initially ask some substantive questions, there was no follow-up and there was just rambling and off-track answers. Harris was asked about why she backflipped on fracking, but there wasn't much pushback.
2019, I believe, in a town hall, you said you were asked, would you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking on your first day in office? And you said, there's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So yes. So it changed in that campaign?
In 2020, I made very clear where I stand. We are in 2024, and I've not changed that position, nor will I going forward. I kept my word, and I will keep my word.
Harris had previously called for illegal immigration to be decriminalised, but when she responded to this fact, the reporter just let her ramble.
Another question about something that you said in 2019 when you first ran. There was a debate. You raised your hand when asked whether or not the border should be decriminalized. Do you still believe that?
I believe there should be consequence. We have laws that have to be followed and enforced that address and deal with people who cross our border illegally, and there should be consequence. And let's be clear, in this race, I'm the only person who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations who traffic in guns, drugs, and human beings. I'm the only person in this race who actually served a border state as Attorney General to enforce our laws, and I would enforce our laws as president going forward. I recognize the problem.
In truth, Harris is part of an administration which has an out-of-control illegal immigration issue, and the journalist failed to press further on this fact. And after these more serious questions, it got super weird, fluffy, and very promotional. Rather than digging into her record of policies, they started asking about the amazing moment Biden stepped aside for her.
And we have some never-before-shared details about the phone call that changed everything between President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Really? That's your big exclusive? Well, it better be good. Let's check it out.
My family was staying with us, and including my baby nieces, and we had just had pancakes and, you know, Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to do a puzzle. And the phone rang, and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?" And he said yes. And that's how I learned about it.
Wow, compelling stuff. Harris has been hiding from hard-hitting interviews since launching her campaign, and this was actually an opportunity for CNN to really test her candidacy. Instead, it is clear that this joke of a network simply wanted to promote her. It wasn't journalism, it was an endorsement. Well, joining me on the show this week is Sky News host Caleb Bond and Radio 2CC Stephen Senatiempo. Now, let's start with you, Caleb. I mean, could that have been more of a flagrant endorsement of this person than what we just saw?
I don't even know how to respond to that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, remember during the 2016 campaign, CNN was derided as the Clinton News Network. Well, perhaps in this case they should change to KNN and be the Kamala News Network, because what I just watched there had more mayo on it than a bad burger from McDonald's. Seriously. They have set her up as though she's the second coming of Jesus, and we've got to have Kamala Harris, otherwise the US is going to fall apart, etc., etc. What you would expect from an interview with any presidential candidate is a sit-down without the theatrics of all the production value. I mean, they've gone for like it's a doco that you're going to watch on Netflix or something, right? You don't want the production value. You want a hard-hitting journalist sitting in front of someone who's asking to be elected President of the United States, asking hard questions for an hour straight. You want to see the candidate squirm and duck and dive and work out where they sit on things. And that's not what you got. You got, as you pointed out, a bit of a puff piece and what seemed to be a promotional bit of material. I'm sure Kamala will now be using it on all of her social media because, you know, why spend money making your own stuff when CNN will do it for you?